Hello, everybody. This is your Sundays at 6. I was trying to give you guys almost like a Mr. Dress Up slash. Wow, I think most of the people on here don't know who Fred Penner is, so I can't I can't give you the Fred Penner. Um, but needless to say, I guess the closest thing would be, um, man, how am I drawing a blank on one of my childhood heroes? He changed his shoes when he came inside. Uh, wow. Somebody help me out. I man, Mr. It's not Mr. Dress Up. It's not Fred Penner. All right. Well, somebody will tell me at some point who this genius man was that apparently I didn't remember enough about. Um, Mr. Rogers. There we go. Thanks, Aunt Kate. Yes, Mr. Rogers. And now I've already forgotten why I brought him up, but either way. Oh, it was the intro. Yeah. But I hope everybody is having a great Sunday. It is rainy and wet and cold, but still feels like a great day. Happy Sunday, everybody. Oh, literally, as I said that, B typed "Happy Sunday, everyone." So, Jinx, you owe me a Coke. I don't think that's a game anymore, but if it was, oh, I would be so rich in caffeine. Anyways, I hope everybody's having a good day, a good either end to their week or start to your week. I feel like Sunday is kind of the end to the week for me. I don't know. I can never really think of Sunday as the beginning of the week, but oh, it's Johnny says it's raining there. Oh, you love the rain. Johnny Oak loves the rain. I feel like that's a song in itself. It's like an old Bob Dylan tune. Johnny Oak loves the rain. Anywho, I'm gonna start things off. It's funny when we're looking through songs that to play on the live streams, other than uh, the songs that people actually request, it's kind of left up to us to sit and go, okay, like what do we feel like playing this week? Um, and so I was talking with Mike and Brendan. We were going through different bands that we've been on tour with, or different bands that one of the three of us or two of the three of us have been on tour with, and we came up with some really good bands that, man, it'll probably take me a few weeks to get through some of the songs that we went through. Um, but this week, I thought I'd throw out some of my favorites from what we were talking about. And I know Mike has been on tour and Brendan has been on tour. They've both been on tour and different bands with Hailstorm. But this was one that just came up, and I have to be honest, I hadn't heard it before a few days ago. Um, but like an amazing band. One of my favorite guitar players, and RJ on the drums, and obviously Lizzie is just a monster on the vocals. But yeah, so I'm going to do my best at trying to make my version of this song sound good, but without keeping it going. This is "Amen" by Hailstorm. Fire's gotta burn, the world's gonna turn, rain is gonna fall, fate is gonna call, but I'll just keep on breathing, as long as my heart is beating. Someone's gotta hate, never gonna change, harder every day, hell of a place to keep your heart from freezing, keep yourself believing. Now I'll run, not afraid, look him in the eye, gonna hear him say, my life, my love, my sex, my drug, my lust, my God, ain't no sin. Can I get it? Can I get an amen? My grace, my church, my pain, my tears, my hurt, my God, I'll say it again. Can I get it? Can I get an amen? Can I get it? Can I get it? Amen. Can I get it? Can I now? Life's out. Life is gonna kill, faith is gonna blind, hope is gonna fade, the truth is gonna lie. Sometimes there ain't no reason to justify the meaning. I won't run, not ashamed. Don't take more than this to break my life, my love, my sex, my drug, my lust. My God, it ain't no sin. Can I get it? Can I get an amen? My grace, my church, my pain, my heart, my hurt. My God, I say it again. Can I get it? Can I get an amen? Can I get it? Can I get it? Amen. Can I get it? Can I get an amen? Can I get it? Can I get it? Amen. Amen. My life, my love, my sex, my drugs, my love. My life, my love, my sex, my love, my lust. My God, I say it again. Can I get it? Can I get an amen? My grace, my church, my pain, my heart, my hurt. My God, I say it again. Can I get it? Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Oh, oh, can I get an amen? Bam! Yeah, that is definitely a heavy tune. Hope everybody's doing good. Looking through, see who's on here. Hope everybody's doing good today. It is Sunday, so it's one of those days that even if you're having a bad day, it's Sunday. So it you kind of have to soak up the good because tomorrow is Monday. So some people may have to go to work tomorrow. That shibby. Oh, wait. Oops. I just took something off by my accident, but my turn. You always make me laugh. But something popped up there. That might have been an accident. Anyways, I hope everybody is great, good, and wonderful. Just want to say a big shout out to the fans on the Octane fan page and Joe for having us on. It is a huge pleasure, and we've gotten to meet and converse with a lot of people that we probably wouldn't have found otherwise. So thank you guys very much to everybody that's streaming Tense Machine and or downloading or however you listen to music. For everybody that's listening, thank you guys very much. It means a lot. I'm gonna keep things going. I never got to play with this band, but it's funny. It's like every time I hear one of their songs, I I always sit and go, "Whoa, who is that?" And it always comes back the same band. Um, I loved their song "Black Honey," and that one that I could put on another Sunday for sure. I didn't want to throw in two Thrice songs in one stream just because didn't want to get anybody throwing tomatoes or something because that's too much Thrice. But for me, no Thrice is too much Thrice. Um, Honestly, you watch their acoustic things; they're such killer musicians, and his voice is just out of this world. But yeah, so I saw this tune pop up, and I did not know it was them. Pardon me. I remember hearing this song for the first time when we were on the road. I was sitting in the van. It was like 2:30 in the morning or something, and I was sitting in the van just kind of listening to music, trying to get ready to fall asleep. And this song came on, and I was just like, man, that's such a great song. I remember like kind of listening to it again. I never even thought to check like, who is this? I'll learn this song. We were on the road, and it was just kind of more entertainment than not. But amazing, definitely amazing. Johnny Oak says it's his favorite from Thrice. I think I'm tied. It's this one and Black Honey that are my two favorites. But also I don't think I've listened to all of their songs. So I do need to do more of my homework on that side of the things. But without more chit chatting and belaboring this, I'm gonna play Hurricane. Hurricane by Thrice. Justly. Flowers, I found you, the truest ray that I've ever seen. Till you cut yourself on the thorns. You instead, I kissed you, I kissed your palms, and we both laughed, so unaware of the gathering storm. It's gonna rain till the levee breaks. A tidal wave of fear and pain carries us away. Another fight into the light until none else remains. How do we find hope from the hurricane? No shelter, no shadows. The quiet song of your breast stirs their skin like the rose in my hands. I can't keep from wondering why nothing else could ever stay. My fate feels like a fistful of sand. It's gonna rain till the levee breaks. A tidal wave of fear and pain carries us away. Another fight into the night until nothing else remains. How do we find hope from the hurricane? And how do we find hope from the hurricane? Out of the hurricane. Out, yeah. As flowers, I found you, the truest thread that I've ever seen. Till you cut yourself on the thorns. It's gonna rain till the levee breaks. A tidal wave of fear and pain carry us away. Another fight into the night until nothing else remains. How do we find hope from the hurricane? How do we we find hope before the hurricane? How do we find hope before the hurricane? Thank you. Yeah, I can still remember the night hearing that song for the first time and being like, it's one of those tunes where it's I don't want to say it's rare, but it's not like all the time as a songwriter you hear a song and you're like, shoot, I really wish I wrote that. like like how did I not think of that before Thrice? Pish posh. But anyways, to Thrice, amazing. Because we know that they definitely frequent our live streams, so I have to give them their ups. Yeah. So this next tune, I think this is one of the first times that we've played. I don't think I've played another Lost Year song before. One of my favorite bands that we've been on tour with. The guys are amazing. Definitely became, I would say, quite close friends with all of them, and Clinton and I, we shared a kindred spirit, I would say. So we constantly I'd be on stage and I'd be on the mic and say, you know, I am Clinton, and Clinton would say, I am Dane. And it didn't really make any sense to anybody else but us. And actually, to be honest, didn't make sense to us either. But nonetheless, it was funny. Oh. Okay, Steve, I love this. You are such a gentleman, because normally that is an expletive. Oh, never mind. Here it is. I thought you were trying to I guess edit yourself, but no, don't edit yourself. That's awesome. All right. Well, anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. This is your Sundays at 6, and I'm just jamming some tunes before we get B and Mike in here to answer all of the questions that trouble your souls. But anyways, back to this next tune. This band we did make quite good friends with, and toured with them on multiple occasions. And I very much look forward to getting back to the States and getting to share a stage with these boys again. Another Lost Year. For those of you that don't know, now you know. This song is called War on the Inside. I do it so often that now it's just kind of expected, I think. This song's called War on the Inside. I can see you're distant. It's dark and there is no one around this time. Lost in all of this, and I'm doing it along the while. There's nowhere it collides. And all these voices calling my name, they keep reminding me of all of this pain. 'Cause I am stuck here out on this ledge. Can you save me tonight from the war on the inside? silence kills the defense. I can see your eyes every time that you lie. 'Cause I'm stuck here and into the sunset every time you wanna forget. And all these voices calling my name keep reminding me of all of this pain. And I am stuck here out on this ledge. Can you save me tonight from the war on the inside? Still calling my name, keep reminding me of all of this pain. 'Cause I am stuck here out on this ledge. Can you save me tonight from the war on the inside? Yeah, so we miss you. We definitely miss you, boys. And I hope to see you soon. So anybody have any crazy stories before I hit this last tune? I'm sure there's got to be. There's got to be one crazy story. Jeremy's on. Hey, hey, hey. I got claps from Jen. That means when you get claps from the lady, that's definitely a good thing. that means claps from the lady. I'll leave it at that. But anyways, I hope everybody's doing good. There's got to be. Well, fall would be awesome. Yeah. B was just saying, guess is fall for getting down there. Yeah, like we definitely are chomping at the bit. It's funny because we never know. I never know whether it's chomping. I think I actually watched. I think it was Curb Your Enthusiasm, where they actually talk about it. Whether it's chomping, like CHOMP, or chomping, like CHAULMP. Chomping. It's like that Step Brothers thing. It's like I feel like I can weigh in on the Pam situation here. Yes, that is true. Oh, Mike made a funny. Mike made an inappropriate funny, but it was an appropriate inappropriate funny. So that was good. But anyways, I'm gonna play one more tune, and then I'm gonna bug these boys to get in here and have a chit chat with us all. But this next tune, it's I know that I played this when I was like, I don't know, 16. 16. This was definitely one of my favorite songs. I remember sitting at the movie theater that I was working at in the office, and me and the manager would just put this song on repeat and just sit there and smoke cigarettes, like closed in this office, like some kind of weird cigarette hot box. Um, yeah, it was it was a really disgusting cigarette hot box, but loved this song. Listened to it on repeat just over and over again. Um, and when we were on tour, Mike and I and Reed, when we were playing with Age of Days, we were on tour with Saint Asonia and Disturbed, and Mike Mashak plays with Saint Asonia, and so it was kind of amazing because it was like watching somebody play these songs that, you know, when you're a kid, you sit and listen to him. So there was little bits of fanboy, and he's like the nicest human being on the planet. But like, man, seeing somebody on stage and off stage is a hilarious thing, because like off stage, polite, like nice, cordial, quiet dude, but you put a guitar in that guy's hand and get the drums going, and like he's all over the stage, he's jumping up and down. I don't know how his guitars survive him, but yeah, one of the most like awesome guitar players to watch. So if you haven't watched him, go find him. But anyways, with no further ado, this is a Stain tune. It's called Outside. And you bring me to my knees again. All this time that I could beg you, please. Yeah. All the times that I felt insecure for you, and I leave my burdens at the door, and I'm on the outside, I'm looking in. I can see through you, see your true colors, 'cause inside you're ugly like me. I can see through you, see to the real you. All this time I felt like this won't end, was for you, and I taste what I could never have, was for you. And all those times that I tried my intentions, the full of pride, and I waste more time than anyone. But I'm on the outside, I'm looking in. I can see through you, see your true colors, 'cause inside you're ugly like me. And I can see through you, see the real you. All the times that I've cried, all this wasted, it's all inside, and I feel all this pain, stuffed it down, it's back again, and I lie here in bed. 'cause I'm on the outside. I'm looking in, and I can see through you. See your true colors. 'Cause inside you're ugly, ugly like me. I can see through you, see the real you. I'm on the outside, I'm looking in, and I can see through you, see your true colors. Inside you're ugly, ugly like me, and I can see through you, see the real you. Thank you, everybody. It is awesome to have everyone here on Sundays for your Sundays at 6. I do believe, like Mr. Rogers, Mr. Dress Up, Mr. Fred Penner, I do believe I have a knock at the door. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Mike.
How's it going?
Oh, hey, Brendan.
Hi. Mike's driving.
I didn't see you guys there.
Yeah, Brendan's lying down.
Yeah, I'm in the back. This is like in the middle. We're like in the middle of Texas, and I'm like, I can't do anymore.
We looked at Google Maps, it's just a big old straight line.
For like 18, it's like when you get on the highway, and it's like, stay on the current route for 1,234 kilometers.
It's like, okay. I don't know how else to answer that.
Like,
We'll
all right,
talk
then.
about it when we're under 1,000. Then we'll talk
Yeah.
about it when we're under
Then
500.
Then we'll stop thinking. We'll start thinking about other things. Then that's right.
Man, what I hated the most though was when with the trailer we couldn't drive the speed limit. So like when you looked at the clock of like the estimated time, and then you went to sleep for an hour and you woke up and you looked at the time again, it was only like 40 minutes difference.
Like, wait a minute.
You're like, why am I going crazy?
We're on van time.
Yeah, Dan, are you suggesting that bands can't travel faster than the speed limit? Because their
Yes.
vehicle is way down and they've got a trailer and just...
You know what? You can travel
Then
the speed
mountains?
limit, but your van won't make it. Your van, you might make it to the gig, but your van won't. So
I had
yeah.
some rather colorful descriptions of some of the terrain in the U.S. Just when I was driving, I would get frustrated, and just sort of a description of what would be going on. And I mean, I can't really say exactly the words that I said, but yes, I remember some of those places where you'd be kind of surprised where it would just be so windy. Like when you're driving to Denver and you go through Kansas, it's one of those just straight long lines, but you're kind of just steadily, really slowly going up.
Yeah.
And you don't realize
But
it,
you
and usually
can't
there's
realize it
wind.
sometimes, yeah.
There's a headwind coming at you, so you'd be driving, and I just remember sitting there in my head. I'm like, okay, what's wrong with the van? We can't go as fast. If I try to push it, to the speed limit, it like really started struggling. But I'm
Starts to
like,
feel like it,
don't
yeah.
want to alarm anyone, so I'm just gonna like. But I'd be like sitting there. Mike's like, and after like an hour, Mike's like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm good. Yep." In my head, I'm like, "Oh no, what's
Something
going
wrong.
on?" And then I
We might
realized
not
I'm
make
like. We stopped somewhere, and I
been
think
like
I looked
this,
something up
but
on the internet, and it's like
just been-
it was an article about the huge elevation going up pretty much all the way through Kansas and eastern Colorado, and I was like, oh,
We just went up a hill for 4 hours.
yeah. Also, we
It's
had
less
that black.
scary than having to go down the hill for a long time.
We had the original black van, and you just never
Yeah.
knew what was going to happen with that.
Yeah,
thing
there
after
could
a
definitely
while.
be something.
All
Because most
bets were
vehicles, you're just like, okay, it feels really weird. Something's broken, flat tire, smoke coming out of the front or something. But with Savantha, it's a mixed bag sometimes. What was
Savannah
really going
was
on?
she was a fickle old beast.
I can't really complain, though. She didn't really give us
No.
any problems until she gave us problems, and then she gave us a lot. And that was the first real lesson for me when picking out vehicles, to really like look at them closer. Like rust does matter. I was like, a bit of rust.
Man,
on
Just
mine.
cosmetic
Oh,
rust.
Just
I
cosmetic
fail-
rust, and
I fail to agree that Samantha was not the perfect choice. Dude, we got like 2.5 years out of Samantha. And like I guess
She owed us nothing.
We did put
The
we
money
did put
was
some,
spent, that's for
but
sure.
yeah, we did spend some money on her. But
we paid. We paid.
No, but I mean like the value. We got what we needed. We never got
Yeah.
stranded anywhere really. Like
No.
even when the belt came off, it's just like
Yeah, but hindsight on
We
my
weren't-
part, there were some better because I was usually, if everyone doesn't know, I was kind of taking care of the vehicle decisions. So when I bought that, it's like I probably could have made a better choice, but you know what? We're still here, so it obviously
you
wasn't
never
that bad of a
know.
one.
You never
Man,
know.
yeah.
It's always
I
hindsight
look at
with
it
that.
I look at it this way. You also could have made a choice that you thought was better and turned out horrible.
That's
Like-
true. You remember when Dead had a brand new
Oh,
van,
man,
and we had
brand new.
we had so hard van envy. We pulled up, and I was like, "Oh, look at
It
that!"
looked so nice.
Like I'm
so
serious.
pretty.
I don't even look at like nice cars. I see nice
Van
cars,
Some
and I'm
nice
like,
vans.
I'm like, I can't even fit my amp in that thing. How am I gonna? I'm like, what if I had to play upright bass? Can't even get in there. No chance. Now I see a van. I'm like, oh, look at that. It's got
15
the little,
passenger.
It's got the footsteps
F
on
license.
the bottom. You get in there, and it's like, our benches are nice, but it's like that one that's just a
No, their
little
benches
nicer.
were pretty.
Oh,
They were
they're-
bench for just for whatever.
But even
Great.
back to the point with them is even they had a brand new one, and we're driving around an old Savantha, rusting out, and they had a busted fuel pump. It was like brand new, so it's like it doesn't really matter.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like you're hauling people. You're hauling, and they had some crew with them, and like you're hauling that massive trailer as well. It's like all that stuff adds up.
Yes,
How-
Cindy,
Sometimes it's just the way
we were
she
pretty
goes.
attached to the old girl. She got us through
We
some
really
times.
were. Like it's funny. I can't remember what I was watching. Oh. No. I don't know what it was. Oh, it was The Office. I know, like, everybody laughs at me when I take like poignant life notes from shows like The Office, but at the end of The Office series, there was a piece where if you watch the show Creed, the kind of crazy old guy, he talks about something, and he's talking about the fact that they made a documentary about a mundane paper company, and he said that the crazy thing about human beings is the fact that no matter our circumstances or where we are, we find a way to make it home. And that was definitely like Savantha, because like as crazy as it sounds, it felt weird when someone else sat in my seat. Like it felt weird when somebody else was in that little bunk, because it was like, okay, well, all right, that's my home. I'll
That's
just move
kinda
my
your-
stuff out of the way.
That's your home,
Kinda,
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of me with the driver's seat as well. It's like there'd be times when I couldn't even keep my eyes open, but I'm like, no, I want to drive still. Though. It's my seat.
What, dude? My dad is very much, I think, like you, B, because like, if he's alive, he's driving, and there was one time that's like a fabled story that my mom tells me of when they were on some trip, like a business trip with another couple, and so at some point this other couple was like, okay, we'll drive, and my dad was like, okay. And so he went into the back seat and he fell asleep. He woke up and like he's so used to driving that he thought he was still behind the wheel and was like trying to grab for the wheel. And so he's like grabbing the driver's seat in front of him. So yeah, it's like if you're used to being the driver, it's not an easy thing to kind of just let that go.
A lot of driving.
Yeah, that was a lot of driving, especially
Yeah.
that first one. There were some drives on that. Remember that? There was one that was like 20 hours, and it was just across like just wastelands across Montana. Wasn't it it was to Spokane.
We love Montana.
We love
Oh, yeah.
Montana, yeah. Sorry, but a lot of it is just like there's
But
not
yeah.
a whole lot going on in a bunch of spots out there. It's beautiful though. But that was one of the states that was a windy something that I can't say because it was just eternally windy. And after a while, you've been driving for so long, and I was just so hopped up on caffeine that it was like this weird, like slingshot ride. That's what I started thinking of it, because you'd be going up a big hill, and you're like, all right, let's really work up some speed with this thing. So then when you go down, you could hopefully get up the next mountain without having to gear down the van because of the trailer, right?
You were very strategic about it. Like you had it down to a science. I feel like by
Even
by the
when
end
I
of
brought that
first one.
when I brought that van back, that fateful drive back from Texas, where it was just ready to blow at all times.
It's gonna go at some
When I brought it back to my cousin so he could scrap it, he was like, he's driving it around the yard. He's like, man, this thing still drives good.
The last drive home, that was rough.
It didn't smell
throw
very
a
nice.
few
though.
hundred
It was-
pounds.
rough.
Throw a few hundred pounds of stuff into it. Well, yeah, it didn't smell good for
Good
too
question for
many
you.
too many coffees.
Question for you here, B. It says picking out a new vehicle. Go with older vans or newer models?
It depends. Go with someone who has a bunch of vans, and that's what they do, like this company. And here's the plug: Cargo Van Canada, just outside of Toronto. They're very good because that's literally it's what the name says. All they do is vans. So it's a husband and wife team, and he just gets as many of those vans as he can find, and he, obviously some of them are just parts vehicles, but he's really diligent about putting good parts, and if there's any problems on those vans. So if you get an older van with them, it's still like newer because they're super transparent about what they do on them. And all the vehicles I was looking, like they were great. They were all very like, a lower price, and there wasn't like a bunch of rust on the bottom, and
I would add to that, like the idea of bands getting a new van. From my experience, it's a bit of a red flag when I see a band with a brand new van, because like you can get something that's a couple years old for a lot less. That's probably in just as good condition as long as you can keep the kilometers or miles down on it. But like you're going to drive the crap out of it. So buying a brand new vehicle, you're just burning money getting a brand new vehicle. Get something that's been driven around a little bit, but not band driven around.
I mean,
I feel like
don't get me wrong. At some point, if we had like lots of money, I'd be like, if we could get a new van, if we were using it, if you had a
But
period
I'd still
where you were just
rather
using
I'd
get,
still
like,
get a
1 year
2018 or
old.
something. Yeah, something that's
1
off the
year
lot.
old.
Gone around the block a
Because
couple
the
times.
second you drive off, it's like
30%
okay, you just
gone.
lost
Hey,
that money.
because you want, I mean, still get something on warranty. You want to see a relaxed Brendan drive a car that's on warranty. I'll just like, oh, here we go.
No, I was actually gonna half joke. I'm just like, you see some bands that they're just flush with cash and they can buy a brand new vehicle, or bands that have a label that's like, sure, we'll just get you a new one, throw that on your recoupables and call it a
But
day.
like even our like in the My Darkest days, so we're talking like 2009, 2010, when we really started kind of doing longer trips and doing Johnson to the States. We bought this van and we bought it for like $1,800, and it was a van. It was
Is it the church one?
It was a 1995 GMC, it's illegal now to have those. It's what we were doing really wasn't legal. I don't think it was legal then, but it was. No, I think it was, but it was the
just
laws were
frowned
changing,
upon.
so it was frowned upon. So it was a van with 4 benches, and like our van, we have 2 basically, right? In it, because the vans with 4 benches in them now, you need like a commercial like bus license technically for them,
EF
because
license.
they're big. They are big. I drove that thing
Awesome.
back in the day, and on top of that, we had this massive friggin' trailer on it too. So our rig was like, it's as long as a tractor trailer almost. Like we're talking 30 plus feet on this van and trailer, because we had so much stuff. We had 9 people, 9 dudes in a van, and no air conditioning whatsoever. It's the older
That's when
styles.
you write the song that's just called "Too Many Dudes."
Well, no, that was when we wrote the song. I can't say it, but "Effed Up Situation." It's a no. Actually, it was done before that. But it was one of those vans, and I don't know if you're familiar with them, but the drive shaft. So it's a giant metal thing that spins and gets really hot.
the drive shaft,
just goes right down the center of the van. So like, in our first tour, it's like summer of 2010, July, and we're just right down to like Alabama, Louisiana, and everything. So like, oh man, it would like peel paint. I think I actually did peel some paint. But that's a funny thing, something we didn't think about. We first got down there and Chizzy was driving, and we're driving this van, and we had come from up here, and it was kind of a cool summer. And we got down, and it was like, 18 hours later, we're driving to Mobile, Alabama for the first gig. And one of the the tires on the trailer just explodes. And not only explodes, but
Just
I
from
looked out the
heat.
rear view window, and it was on fire. It got so hot, and we pulled over, and within seconds, it was literally just the rim with some shards of rubber all around the sides. And it was like, we're like, wow, what happened? And it was just like, yeah, it just exploded. We
So-
weren't used to driving because I think we were going a little fast, and it was so hot on the road that we really didn't realize. And it
Well,
was
too
like,
rock and roll.
yeah, it was just
That's an
Coming in hot.
speeding commercial if I've ever heard one. It's like it's like you don't speed. Your tires will blow up.
yeah.
Man,
Watch out, kid.
honestly, if my dad told me that when I first got my license, I would never speed. If I had the fear in me that my tires would explode,
Yeah, they'll
and
just
light
explode.
on fire,
And we got rid of that van because, sorry to interject, we got rid of that van not because it blew up. And this is like, this is a 15-year-old van. We're talking a 95. And this is 2010. This is 2011. We were still driving it.
It's about
We
to
were
get
just,
its driver's license.
We were just going crazy because there was nowhere to sleep when we were driving. And like, you couldn't, like, there's only so many times you can pee into a Gatorade bottle before you're like, what's wrong with my life?
My life is not good.
Yeah.
This
So
is what I'm
like once,
doing.
once you are
there's
able
few
to
things that I
pee,
disagree with you on, B, but that is one.
let me rephrase that. When you can pee while you're driving, it is like life-changing. That is a life-changing experience.
Okay, I will say though, like if you're cramped in a situation where you've got like a dude on one side and a dude on the other, that's not a situation where you want to have to pee in a Gatorade bottle. Like I'm not a bashful person. I've played on sports teams, and sports teams you have to shower with other dudes, but at the same time, it's like there's a difference between showering in the same room that another guy is showering after playing some sports and whipping something out and throwing it in a Gatorade bottle, sitting next to someone that's maybe trying to sleep or like text their girlfriend. It's like they're looking down at their phone trying to text their girlfriend, but like you have peripheral. Like maybe in those kind of situations, you need to make sunglasses that don't actually have lenses here. They just have blinders.
Little
this way.
blinders on it.
Yes.
Little
that's right.
blinders so that it looks like you're in a cubicle.
We needed blinders in that van, and even like when we got rid of it, we only got rid of it because we were just going crazy. It was so crammed. I think we had like another person. We had like 10 people at that point on the road. It was like, okay, so we
That's
got like
bonkers.
Yeah, that's
we
too
got
much,
an
'cause
RV.
Those things only seat 11, right?
We sold it to some band in Vancouver, and they were driving it apparently for like years after that as well. And there were drawings on the roof that were just awful. And they were, by the end of it, like we knew we were going to get rid of it. They were just everywhere, and they were so foul in their imagery.
You need to find the band that took that van and try and see if they still got it running.
I mean, I doubt it is. It's probably out in a field somewhere in the mountains somewhere in BC. But I bet you those
Then we
drawings
need to go
are
find
still
that
all.
van so we can take a picture of all the.
I'll have
the
to
drawings.
ask Bonnie.
It's
I
like
bet you she knows.
hieroglyphics now.
I bet you Bonnie knows the name. Chief's old assistant. I bet she knows his name. It's funny. It's just funny to think about that. But yeah, we could have used blinders. There were some moments in that van where it was like, oh god. But that's where that was the tour. The My Darkest Days first U.S. tour was with Sick Puppies. So that's when we first met our friend Shim. And he thought we were nuts. Like they had a whole. I remember we were like watching an interview with them, and they did like a whole segment on like how disgusting our van was, and like, oh, and there's all these guys, and there's just the underwear and shirts hanging everywhere, because we were like, you'd be down south with no air conditioning, so by the time we rolled up to the venue, there'd be all our clothes like hanging off the mirrors on the side of the van, trying to dry them out.
Oh, that's funny. That was me after every show, though. After every show, I would open one of the van doors and then just drape my shirt and my pants over the.
Dane, where was that show where it was with Shallow Side, and it was so hot, and there was that huge parking lot right beside the venue, and we had that Yeti cooler, and it was full of ice that had turned to
That was
water.
Philadelphia.
That was
But it was really
Philadelphia.
cold, and Dane just laid down on the ground, and I just opened the
And
drain
you just
spout and
opened
just
the
let
thing
it
and
pour
just-
on him.
Just
He's-
pour on. to fill
They're like
everyone in,
like people watching
I was
us?
dying of some kind of like disease that no doctor could find.
Oh
any-
yeah, I forgot about that.
Like nobody. I went to so many different doctors in the States, back at home. No one could tell me what it was. And I'm like, okay. And I start saying, I'm like, is it shingles? Is it this? And they're like, no, definitely not. I'm like, but you don't know what it is. I'm like, nope. But we're gonna give you this, and we're gonna give you a really heavy dose of it because I don't know what you've got. And I remember them giving me these antivirals that like turned my skin. I looked, and it kind of was hilarious because I was wearing like a leopard print scarf all the time, but my skin was like red leopard print. It literally was just all. But the one thing that I kept saying to the guys is like, if my underwear region starts to get it, I'm going home. Like that's when I have to call quits, and like I'm not strong enough to take that. And somehow it just didn't. It was like knees down. Yeah, the Yetis do kick ass.
We like strategized around that cooler.
And that was our good friend Kate dropped that off for us. We played in Detroit, and she knew that we were traveling in a van that didn't have any air conditioning in the summer. And so she gave us this Yeti cooler that was just, she filled it to the brim with like snacks and goodies and stuff like that. So yeah, I literally was pulling out of my parents' place the other day, and my dad was like, hey, the Yeti cooler, you gonna take the Yeti cooler? I'm like, yes, I am, because
I will.
hopefully we actually get to tour again soon. But yeah, those things are awesome. But yeah, I literally, Brendan was like, dude, you should just lay down underneath it and I'll just open the drain spout. And so I literally stripped down to my underwear and just laid down on the ground and was doused
you were playing, and you didn't want to like show your arms, so you had like a sweater on.
It was
Yeah,
the
I remember
hottest
that.
venue. It was incredibly hot.
And it was
and
incredibly
that was
hot
the
in
thing.
there.
We showed up there, and like Philly, like it was the middle of the summer. I think
Yeah,
it
they
was
should have
July.
AC.
And we were excited. Like I was excited because I'm like, we're almost there. I'll get to just go in and I'll just sit down and cool off in the AC. And we get there and the doors are propped open. And
The
I look
giant
at Mike,
fan blowing
and
air
Mike,
out the door.
Without any hesitation, Mike was like, because we still had to load in and do a bunch of stuff, and Mike just
Yeah.
looks at me and he's like, go find somewhere cool. Like just go find air conditioning. And so I walked down the street, and there was like a convenience store that had a beer fridge. And I just asked the lady, I was like, ma'am, can I buy a 12-pack of beer and then just go sit in your beer fridge for a while? I was like, I'm so hot. I'm on tour. I told her the story. She was a tiny little Asian lady, and she was like, yeah, you know what? Like, of course, take as much time as you need. And so I'm sitting there texting Mike and B, being like, yeah, guys, I'm all right. I'm in a beer fridge.
In the beer fridge.
I've got a beer.
Little beer fridge
I'm
bar.
good. And so I'm just sitting there drinking beer in the beer fridge, watching Netflix on my phone. And then there was a Subway next door, so I went to go get food. And you guys all came and met me, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, yeah, I got to be honest. I'm gonna go back to the beer fridge. But yeah, that was. Oh man.
It was par for the course, because it's like we're trying to find somewhere that was cool, because it was like the heat was not helping you whatsoever. I mean, guess
No,
the
and the
venue.
heat made it worse.
And the door
Yeah.
is open with this giant like 4-foot fan just blowing air out and you're just like, this is doing nothing. This is just all for show. This is theater right now. So
That was also the one where they had another one of those giant fans at the side of the stage.
yeah, we
And
had all
so-
fans actually facing you.
Yeah,
To try and do
I
something.
I grabbed like a pitcher of water, and then after every couple songs, I would just dump a little bit of water on me, and the fans would make it cold. Man, that was
I would say
Yeah.
with that one, because on my drums, on my floor tom beside me, there's a little fan that clips on just to kind of keep the air moving. Because when you're at the back of the stage, sometimes it's just the air's not moving. It's really gross. And I turned it off because it was just blowing hot air at me, and it was making it worse. And then Heath from Shallow Side, because we were sharing drums that night, and he like went to turn it on, and I'm just like, Don't even bother.
Don't do
It
it.
just makes it worse. I know it's cool, and you can get the hair going, and he's got a shirtless thing going on and everything. I'm just like, don't even bother. It's like it's gonna be like having a hairdryer on the entire time. It's like it's not good.
We had something like that. Do you guys remember when we tried to make the air conditioner? And
I was just
and
thinking about that.
you guys kind of appeased me because every single person in the band was like, no, like that's not going to work. It's
Oh,
not gonna work.
the
The ice box.
The
with
little
the fan.
styrofoam
Icebox
icebox
AC unit.
cooler.
Yeah,
My
In
God.
theory, it was worth a shot.
yeah.
If you were in a tiny
Mike's like,
little,
yes.
We're
Still not
definitely.
good.
Well, I was just gonna think as far as like between the icebox AC and the homemade fog machine. We're 0 for 2. We're 0 for 2 with these MacGyver tools.
okay, the homemade fog machine, that was still my
Still one of
we've
my
got a
still
video
one of the
somewhere.
funniest moments where you're like, let's see if this works, and the amount of not working
Oh,
that
man.
thing did. But the
That was-
the icebox things, I remember you guys wanted to try it. I'm like, yeah, I'm game, and it just did.
It wasn't.
We
even
really
us.
we
It was
believed
like
it would work.
Nobody
it did not
wanted
work.
to try it. You guys threw me a bone because I just kept saying we needed
I was
to try
curious.
it.
Yeah,
That's
just
true.
try
My
it.
gosh. And it was funny because Reed and I had it in the back and we just kind of like there were two holes.
You
and
really
we just
wanted
had
it to
our
work.
we had our faces just pressed up against the two holes. And so like me and Reed are in the back and we're like, it's kind of working. Like I feel cold air coming out of here.
Realistically, it would have just been better to have the ice in bags or just big water bottles with ice in it.
Yeah,
like,
just
hold
a
them
big
against your body.
Bag of ice
that's,
and just hang
that's
out
what
with
you
it.
guys did for me when I was sick. Remember that?
Yep.
Because like I had just
pack 'em
like
in ice.
Ziploc packs, and I just had them like laying all over my body while we drove. That was, oh man, that was good. It's funny to
trying to-
say that that's good memories, but that is still good memories. And I remember
Well,
pulling up to that one gas station in Texas, and Reed had gotten sick, and like I pulled up to meet you guys, and Reed gets out of the van and like in
He was
the middle
unwell.
of the
Quite
in the
unwell.
middle of the parking lot was sick and looked very sick, and there's two cops on bikes that pull up right beside, and they're just staring at him like what is going on here? I'm surprised they never said anything. Because like
Well-
they didn't say anything, and typically I would think that a police officer would think like, okay, they're getting sick out of a van. Like, is somebody drinking?
Well, no, I don't think so in that case, because like there would be more going on, because it was just one person was visibly ill, and yeah, no, he picked up a bug. So he had food poisoning, so it was a pretty rough 6 or 8 hours. But just to bring things full circle again, Dane, with you getting sick and like Savantha last in the distance, it's always in hindsight. You can always laugh about it in hindsight. At the moment, it's just like, are we gonna lose a guitar player here?
Yeah.
Is the van gonna be okay?
Is the van gonna make it?
Yeah,
Is
because an
the
alternate
Dane
universe,
gonna make it?
something else here. But
But no, we definitely made it through. And like when I think back on different things that like even getting stranded at the side of the road and you guys finding that piece of rubber that you then like zip tied onto the coolant line.
finding internet, wireless reception, to look that up on YouTube,
Yep.
and then find the piece of rubber. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like that to say we got lucky, I don't think it's that we got lucky. I think it's that and Mike, this would be one to maybe talk about in your dear bands, is like having somebody in the band that kind of knows we were lucky because you and B both were. I'm useless when it comes to that stuff. And I'm not going to say that Reed is useless, but Reed and I are two peas in a pod when it comes to fixing a car. So
I think Brendan's probably the same. Like, I'm not afraid to try something, because not
Yeah.
to say it can only
But
get
you
so
guys
much
are
worse.
good. You guys are good
But-
at looking things up and finding the information.
And like
I get
person,
flustered and just go.
A person made the car, and they kind of make the cars so you can fix them a little bit by yourself. So you know that like
Yeah.
it's not totally like out of the question for you to like. You can just kind of figure it out. And yeah, like we have as long as you have the internet. Exactly. I'm not like if I look something up, it's like often there's a solution.
That makes
and
sense.
You're like, I'm not a mechanic, but like I could do this. So
I'm the type that when I've done that, it's turned out very badly. Like once I tried
you
to
gotta be
turn my
careful,
friend's, I tried to turn my friend's amp into a mini amp. And really I just broke like my or my tape player and his amp. So I didn't actually fix or create anything.
I think also to bring it full circle, Brendan and I are the type to try to fix the van, but we're not the type to try to build an in-van AC unit or a fog machine.
yeah.
There's a line. I'll totally watch though. I'll totally watch someone try to.
The fact that no one got hurt, burned, or dead.
That's why it's funny.
From that fog machine,
Man,
is hilarious.
Only a table was hurt.
Munchies was quite the place.
No
quite the
rules.
establishment.
No rules in West Virginia.
No rules. No.
I still someday we've got to find that video and post it because that was honestly hilarious. I still remember being like, no, it's okay. Just watch this. I'll fix it.
I think we're getting.
It was
I think we're
unsafe.
getting- I think we're getting zucked, boys.
I would say so.
On that
We are
note,
too.
let's go out in a ball of flames.
In a blaze of
Oh,
glory.
fireball.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much for tuning in to our Sundays at 6. We hope you guys enjoyed it. And especially if you guys have any requests or song requests, band, like what's your favorite band you want to hear on us on a Sunday afternoon, technically. Well, I guess, no, it's not an afternoon. It's afternoon on the West Coast.
Like
but
early evening.
it's early. Definitely send them through to us because we love to hear it. We love to find new stuff. And for those of you guys watching on YouTube, remember to subscribe and comment. For those of you guys watching on Twitch, remember to like and follow and other things that are like that. For those of you watching on Facebook, remember to give us a hug and say that you want to share all of these things with all of your friends and your family. And we hope you have an awesome Sunday. Get a good sleep and sign your pity on the runny kind.
I don't know which way to go. Oh,
Oh, I went.
I just did both.
I was trying to anticipate. It's never gonna work. I kind of like it the way it is. All right. See you later, everybody.
See ya.
Oh, I did it wrong again.
Just got
Ba-bam.
I was jamming along with you tonight, Dane, but it's like only playing bass lines that'll like get me fired from a band or something. like the Stain song.
Yeah. It's like the guitar
just like
player
as much as you can possibly.
So they're audition bass lines.
the guitar player that
Craigslist.
comes in.
Yeah, they're Craigslist audition bass lines.
There's a really funny show called Wedding Band that has a good one about that they have a guitar player that comes in called the Mouther.